Welcome to British Focus, your go-to channel for incisive political commentary. In today's clip, we examine Lord Mandelson's recent controversial remarks on Ukraine and his subsequent debate in Parliament. The discussion highlights the Prime Minister's diplomatic maneuvers and the complexities of our alliances. Join us as we unravel the implications of these significant events. Let's watch the clip.
Leader of the Liberal Democrats, Sir Ed Davey.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for advance sight of his statement. We were all horrified by Friday's scenes in the Oval Office. President Trump's attack on the brave and dignified President Zelensky left everyone shocked and appalled, except, it seems, the Honourable Member for Clacton. Nobody else watching those scenes could fail to understand that we've entered a new era, one where the United States prefers to align itself with tyrants like Putin rather than its democratic partners. On these benches, we've supported the Prime Minister's actions and leadership. Britain leading the world, as we have so many times in the past, bringing together Europe and Canada in London to work towards a just peace that guarantees Ukraine's sovereignty and security. But, Mr. Speaker, we need to reduce our dependency on the United States. Because I say with deep regret, I fear that President Trump is not a reliable ally with respect to Russia. And with that regard, did the Prime Minister discuss with our European allies our proposals for a new rearmament bank and for seizing the tens of billions of pounds worth of Russian assets to support Ukraine? And in his conversations with the Canadian Prime Minister, was he clear that we stand with our Commonwealth ally in the face of President Trump's threats? Mr. Speaker, many of us were confused by Lord Mandelson's comments yesterday. So can the Prime Minister confirm that they do not represent government policy? And does he agree that the British ambassador should not be freelancing on American TV? Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister will have our support if the UK continues to lead with our European and Commonwealth allies for Ukraine's defence and our collective security.
I thank him for his question, and he talks about the scene on Friday afternoon. Nobody wants to see that. My response was to recognise the urgency of the need to repair the breach, which is why I spoke to President Trump and President Zelensky on Friday night and again on Saturday night, and are continuing in that work, because for me the single most important thing is lasting peace in Europe and Ukraine, and nothing is going to deter me from that or lose my focus on that. On the dependency on the US, I don't agree with him. The US and the UK have the closest of relationships. Our defence, our security, our intelligence are completely intertwined. No two countries are as close as our two countries, and it'd be a huge mistake at a time like this to suggest that any weakening of that link is the way forward for security and defence in Europe. On the question of a rearmament bank, yes, I do think we should continue discussions with others as to what the possibilities could be, and that formed some of the discussion yesterday with our allies. Again, on assets, he knows the situation is complicated, but there are ongoing discussions. I spoke at length with the Canadian Prime Minister yesterday because we had a bilateral meeting as well as the meeting with other colleagues, in which I was able to assure him of our strong support for Canada, a close ally of ours, a strong supporter of Ukraine, and Canada have led the way on the training that's been so vital to Ukraine. So they were very welcome at the table yesterday. In relation to the ambassador's comments, look, the plan is clear. We're working particularly with the French. I've had extensive conversations with President Macron over the last week, intensively over the weekend, talking to Ukraine as well. Those are going on at the moment, and the intention is to then have discussions with the United States in relation to that plan. So as soon as the details are available, I'll share them with the House, but they are still being worked on at the moment. There's no guarantee of success, but I'm not going to let up until we have done everything we can to ensure peace in Europe and peace for Ukraine.
In summary, today's discussion reveals how political theatrics can overshadow genuine diplomacy. While Lord Mandelson's provocative remarks ignite debate, The absence of clear accountability in Parliament leaves many questioning the government's commitment to Ukraine's security. This episode underscores the urgent need for clarity and responsible leadership in turbulent times. We invite you to share your thoughts. What do you think should change? Thanks for tuning in. Farewell and keep engaging.